Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Panda Phil, and welcome to Toon Talk Live, where we'll be talking about all things Toony and Toontastic. We will be having the wonderful Viv from the TTR Partner Program sharing about their experiences of Toontown, as well as being part of a community group and answering the question of whether community groups even matter in Toontown. Thank you so much for joining. It is so appreciated. Having your time today, honestly it does mean a massive deal, and already there's people in the chat that are very excited to hear that you are joining us. So first of all, I guess for those that don't know who you are, could you just share who you are and how you're involved in the partner program?
Yes. My name is Viv, and my toon is a pink bunny named Viv, and I am a partner for Justice is Blind and Wisconsin's Finest Cheeses.
Amazing. And so for those who don't know, like, who are Wisconsin's Finest Cheeses and Justice is Blind?
So, Wisconsin's Finest Cheeses is a Discord server that started in 2018 that focuses on CEOs and COG golf courses and finding groups for all types of fires, all types of levels, special events. Pretty cool. And Justice is Blind is the same concept, but for CJs. So we do CJ marathons, one-off CJ events, special events. We help with DA offices, and I believe it was also started in 2018 or 2019. So we're pretty old communities.
Which is amazing that it's been going on for so long. So that's like 7 years it's been running for?
Yes,
Which is phenomenal in itself.
7 years.
And I mean, admittedly, like I remember when I saw the names Wisconsin's Finest Cheeses. Already, I was like hooked. I was like, is this about cheese? I got very excited. Then when I learned what it's about, I was like, oh, that makes a lot more sense than what I'm thinking. But I've only really I've always known about the community groups, but I didn't get into them and think until like about a year or two ago, and I realized just how amazing it is to be a part of those community groups. I'm sure you share that view as well.
Yes. In Justice is Blind, we have about 5,000 community members.
Wow.
And in Wisconsin, it's about 1,000 and some community members. And it's funny that you mentioned Wisconsin being about cheese. It started off as a big cheese server. So I was saying that it started as a big cheese server where we would only do 5 fire runs and then 6 fire runs when the changes happened in the game. But now we have runs for all suit levels.
That's so cool. It's amazing to hear that how it all
Did it
evolved.
work?
Yes, you're all good. I think there might be a slight delay, but it's fine. Like the cogs aren't going to get us. It's not going to work. One of the things that I found really interesting when I joined, because I think my first one that I really got into was Justice is Blind. Because for me, I know there's a few other tunes that may feel like this, and I'm so sorry for causing any offense. CJ just wasn't seen as like a very exciting. I was like my least favorite, but from being part of Justice is Blind, it's become one of my favorite like boss runs to do. And so, like, although that's my view, like, why do you enjoy doing CJ runs as part of like Justice is Blind group, for example?
Oh, I love doing with Justice is Blind because of how quick the CJs are and how even if you're a new tune or you're a veteran tune, there's always a space for you. And it's just the conversations are fun. The runs, even if we don't have a special theme going on, it's just always like a good time. And again, I can't emphasize enough how fast the CJs are. I did a 45-minute CJ for my first ever
Wow,
CJ, and now I can do 15, 20-minute CJs
that's
with Justice is
crazy.
Blind.
That is so crazy. Like, and I was just like, what was that? Because obviously that's Justice is Blind. When it comes to Wisconsin's, like, do you see that same thing happen there? Like in terms of the speed, like things just are so much faster with them.
Yes, and it's not necessarily because people know what they're doing. It's more of like you have that support and the guidance, so you never feel like you're doing the wrong thing, or people will work with you to make sure that we're taking out the cogs and keeping Toontown safe.
which is amazing. Because I know some people may like really struggle in rare circumstances where actually the teams that you are with may not be as supportive. So it's great that there are groups such as Justice is Blind and Wisconsin's Finest Cheeses that are so supportive. And it's been so cool to like be join in with those as well. Um, Now, one question I do have, because I think it's an interesting question, because as someone that is a content creator in the partner program, I have my own view of like why I think content creators matter in Toontown. But why do you think community groups matter in Toontown?
I think community groups is a great place where all tunes can come to be together and be safe. And I think that's like the most important thing is that we provide these experiences in a safe environment. So you'll always be able to find like a group of people. Tune HQ is great. I love Tune HQ.
So
But
good.
sometimes I need to find like a CEO group, and it's just so much easier to organize in the Discord group or in the Justice is Blind group. For me, it makes sense, but not just that. We create these special events that are catered specifically to what the community wants and what they need. Like the playtest, we were hosting events inside the playtest itself to be able to get people excited for what's to come in Toontown. And I feel like without these communities, you wouldn't necessarily have a place to do that.
That's really interesting because I never thought of like because when I had the playtest, admittedly I was a little bit unwell during that period, which I was gutted about. However, like as a content creator, I was thinking, okay, how could I really make use of this playtest? And as a content creator, I'm thinking, well, as a playtest, people are going to want to just see what the playtest is like. But actually, what like yes, like Justice Blind, Wisconsin's Finest Cheese, and the other community groups are doing is actually looking at how can we really make the most of this playtest, like build up the hype, not just from like in my case, people watching the streams or watching on YouTube, but for you actually taking part with a group of other tunes. It's a really good idea, and I love it. It's absolutely amazing. And I guess it went really well.
Yes.
That's so good. And yeah, like I just I'm in agreement that community groups do matter. And I think what was really stands out is about that importance of safety. And you made a fair point about Toon HQ. I love Toon HQ, but sometimes it's such a struggle to find that like one like
Yeah.
group to do a CEO. And actually, as I said, if you've got a community group that is just dedicated to that and just going through like you've got set times, you're guaranteed a space, which is really really awesome. Now, going from sort of community groups in general to being a community partner, what is it that you enjoy about the Toontown Partner Program?
I love the support that the Toontown team gives to the community programs and the communities itself. Without them, I feel like a lot of people would not know about the great work that we do at Justice is Blind and Wisconsin's Finest Cheeses. So I feel like a lot of our growth and our special events are thanks to them because without them, we probably would not reach all the tunes that we get. So, yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I think a lot of some of the stuff that I've done as well has been like massively helped because of the partner program bit being promoted. And like one of the things that I just love to see is there to be like a dedicated space in Toontown that is like for the different community groups. Like you go into one of the buildings and you've got a tune that's meant to represent like Justice is Blind, for example, which I think would be just a whole another way of like showing all these different community groups that are out there. But what would you like to see like develop in the partner program itself?
Oh, I have lots of ideas, and I've actually recently shared some of my ideas with the Toontown team and my partner program manager.
Wow.
But I feel like what I hope to see is in the new playground that they're developing, as you said, kind of having like a tune from one of the communities or one of the content creators be there, like a representation, would be maybe like a poster about our the servers or the content creators, so people can learn more about us in a more organic way rather than through Discord itself or through Twitch or YouTube or wherever our content is being put out there.
I love that idea. I think Clear Coast is a great opportunity for that because it's brand new. There's no sort of pre-made construct of what it's meant to look like. So it is its own original playground. I think what I love about the idea is I said, like, not everyone's going to be on Discords, not everyone's going to be actively on Twitch or YouTube. So actually, the main place that people are going to be if they enjoy Toontown is Toontown. So actually, it'd be great to see. So even just the posters of the different partners would be phenomenal, and I'd love to see all of a sudden like all the different community groups such as Just Sublime and Wisconsin's Finest Cheese just get blow up with loads of different new members joining in with all the different runs that you do. And so going from sort of looking at the bigger scope of the partner program to more on a personal level. Now, I asked this question to Yoshi in last month, and it was literally, I think it was like a month to this day. The question I asked him is one question I would like to ask you is, why does Toontown matter to you?
That's a beautiful question, and it's a little hard to answer, but I will try my best. I actually did not play Toontown online. I started off in Toontown Rewritten in 2020, right at the beginning of the pandemic, when I did not know what was going to happen. And since then, I have found friends who have become family. I found a game that I absolutely love playing. I found communities that I feel basically at home in. Um, it truly means so much to me to be part of the Toontown communities and to be a part of this game. Um, I don't know, like, really how to put it into words, like how much good Toontown has done for me, but I truly appreciate everything about this game.
That's such a wonderful answer. I love that so much. I think what I love about it is like my assumption has always been that the others that are partners or like staff on Toontown have always been part of like the Toontown Online group, but actually it's a different story to you. It is 2020. And I know that I played Toontown Online for a bit, but for not as long as I probably would have liked. And so I like properly got back into like Toontown when I learned about rewritten in 2020, like yourself, where it was a pandemic. I didn't know what was going on, what was happening, and it gave me a bit of like a bit of stability. But also, as that's years have gone by, it has been just another like wonderful community that I know I'm gonna enjoy and be safe, and it's just nice. It has that nostalgia, but also just a great community vibe with it as well. So yeah, that's a really beautiful answer. Thank you for opening up and sharing that.
Of
Um,
course.
and so we are going to get close to finishing up now with the final question, because I don't want you to be sharing all about the community groups and people leave and be like, well, how on earth like do I find out about these? So how can people find out more about the community groups in Toontown?
So you can go and search us up on Google, toon.town/ Big Cheese Server for Wisconsin's Finest Cheeses. And then for Justice is Blind, it's toon.town/summons.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for your time. It has been such a pleasure to just chat with you, like outside of this, but also just here today. And I hope other people have really enjoyed listening to you and hearing more about community groups. And I hope you get a whole load of new members joining. And I'm sure that I'll be jumping in a couple of runs in the future myself. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, and sorry for all the technical difficulties that I had early on.
Hey, it's the cogs. The cogs are up to stuff. They don't like this.